Football show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty head football coach Jamey Chadwell comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show is also brought to you by Carter Bank. Life lived full. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Century Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at centuryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Snap to Salter, runs up the middle. He'll have the first down and more. 30, 25, 20, left, hash, in, zone, light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Hayden Salter, 3rd and 4, 42-yard run.
Now, let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
All right, welcome inside Mellow Mushroom tonight as we hit the home stretch of the football season. 2 games left in the regular season, and they are monumental games. We will get to all the pomp and circumstance for those games coming up here in a little bit. Most importantly, the next game, Western Kentucky, is going to be the next one up on Saturday at 1 o'clock. We'll talk more about those details coming up in a little bit. Liberty 7-2 overall after a come-from-behind overtime win at UMass this past weekend, 35-34. Game that had everything. It went right down to the final play as Liberty won that one 35-34. We mentioned Western Kentucky. They suffered a tough loss Saturday to Louisiana Tech. How tough? Well, you look at the film, read the recap. La Tech, remember the week before, took Jacksonville State right down to the wire in overtime. So much improved team late in the year is La Tech, but at the same time, I don't think Western Kentucky played up to their standards. They are 7-3 overall, 5-1 in Conference USA. The meeting with the Hilltoppers on Saturday will be the 5th all-time meeting. Liberty leads the series 4-0, including a 42-29 win at Western Kentucky last season. And again, the Flames end the regular season at Sam Houston the day after Thanksgiving on November 29th. Coming up on the show, we'll hear obviously from head coach Jamey Chadwell. We'll also, midway through, hear some highlights from the win at UMass and the post-game reaction from Quentin Cooley, running back for Liberty, and linebacker Joseph Carter. For those of you watching the video stream, feel free to join us on Facebook, facebook.com/LFSN Radio. We'll get some of your questions in the comments section as we can. You can email us, of course, lfsn@liberty.edu, and we're on X as well, at LFSN Radio. So lots to break down in this game here today, and let's bring in our special guest each and every week, head coach of the Flames, Jamey Chadwell. Coach, thanks for stopping by here today. Got your family here as well, enjoying a great meal at Mellow Mushroom. Before we talk football, it's a special, we got a birthday to celebrate coming up here soon.
Yeah, I do, but she's not in here, so I'm not going to talk about it right now.
We'll talk about it in a little bit when she gets back in here.
Because if I talk about it and she's not here, she'll get upset at me.
Okay, false start.
And one thing you want to do is make sure she's not upset at you.
False start on the broadcaster, so 5-yard penalty on AY here tonight. Big win at UMass. I've got my notes here to talk about that ball game, and we could take all show to talk about that particular ball game. But just getting back into practice here, a couple of big games coming up. The first one, Western Kentucky, the focus that it's going to take to beat the Hilltoppers. How have you started that preparation this week?
Yeah, one, obviously, it was a great win. Probably caused too much gray hair for a lot of people the way that game went. But anyway to find a way to come out and win that was big. Gives you a lot of momentum as you're going forward here. And coming to the last 2 weeks, obviously Louisiana Tech did us a huge favor, gave us a lot of grace. We didn't have a pathway to the championship game. We had to hope some things could happen.
Yep.
And they have. And so now we have an opportunity if we can play up to the level we're capable of. These next 2 games and have a chance to win those games, and you're back in the championship game. So we have a lot of hope there, which is good. I think our team understands that, and know, but they also know that starting with Western's really good in a lot of phases, and they're playing well. Obviously, they had the little hiccup there, but just offensively, they weren't able to put the ball in the end zone the way they've been. But they're really, really good. But our guys know, hey, we got a great chance. Senior Day, there's a lot going on with this game coming up. And I know we'll be ready to go.
A Military Appreciation Day as well. Kickoff 1 o'clock. Ball game will be on ESPN Plus. But if you're out and about, come on out. Tickets available. lufootball.com. It would mean a lot to have a packed house in there. Come early, watch the band led by Dr. Larry Sipe. They do a phenomenal job as the precursor to the team coming out on the field, and get there early for Senior Day festivities as well. Got a text today from Todd Wetmore, who handles the official media communications, PR for Liberty Football. And it's official now when it comes to the scenarios for Liberty Football. This came right from Josh Giannis, who handles Conference USA PR. In Liberty, to make the championship game requires Liberty to win out. And if you win out and you're in the game regardless of the other outcomes that happen. So win out, you're in. And there is one scenario for Liberty to win out and Jacksonville State loses, to where Liberty could host Western Kentucky in the championship game. But first things first, 1 game at a time. That's Western Kentucky. All right, let's break down the UMass game. There's so many plot twists in that game, Jamey. You win the toss, you deferred. And I'm not sure if it's the heads or tails, but you've won 4 coin flips in a row. That didn't happen much a year ago or the beginning of stages of this year. All right, UMass takes the ball. First drive, 10 plays, all runs. Jalen John, 9-yard touchdown run. Did that surprise you for them to come out with all rushes in that first drive?
Once number, I think he was 5, right? Number 5 came in there. He's more of the running quarterback. So I think the assumption was, hey, that's what the plan was. I was more surprised of the ease that they went down the field. I mean, there was not a lot of resistance from us. And whether that was not knowing which quarterback was going to play or this one's playing, were we filling it out? But I was surprised that they were able to control the line of scrimmage like that on the first drive and just really go right down the field. Didn't look like we had a lot to stop them from that standpoint. And so anytime you defer, what you're hoping, is you go out there, you defense, you get a stop, you get the ball. You hope you score. Now you're up, and then also you're getting the ball out of the second half. And so it didn't. I think the last couple, 2, 3, maybe when we've won, it's worked out that way for the most part, but we can't score in the second half. This one was reversed.
So they go up 7-0. Your first drive, I recall just a long pass play to Trayon Sibley inside it got down to the 15-yard line, but penalty got it called back. So unfortunate play there, but just goes to show you that stretch in the field is in this arsenal. When obviously,
we had a big play and complete it, and then you get the penalty, and then you're 3rd and long, and we have another great play, and it goes through our hands for an interception. Right. And so we felt like we had a good plan. We come out, and obviously the penalty set us back, but we threw a pass to the sticks, and if we catch it, it's 1st and 10, and you feel like, all right, you're back in it, but the drive there, the penalty obviously set us back, and then the drop. We always, and this ended up like it was an interception, but we tell our receivers all the time, drops are like turnovers because they stop momentum. Maybe they stop a first down, and that was a huge play at that time of the game because we didn't have a chance to answer and stop their momentum.
Midway through the second quarter, UMass goes on a 13-play, 86-yard drive. They get to your 3-yard line, Jamey. Your defense forces at the time a field goal. They go up 10-0, but you don't force a field goal there. Yeah. We may not go into overtime. You just never know at the end of the day.
You don't, and so anytime they get down there in the red zone, if you just hold them to a kick, that's your goal. Hold them to a kick, hold them to a field goal opportunity, and if they get 3, they get 3, but that's way better than 7. And to me, that was a big point in the game at that time because we hadn't done much offensively, hadn't done much defensively. But to be able to hold them to that field goal where it's 10-0, you feel like, all right, hey, we get one drive, you're back in it, you're not down 2 scores. And so I do think that was a pivotal point in that second quarter to hold them at least to that, to give us an opportunity hopefully to go answer and get back in the game.
And that's exactly what you did. Halfway home in the second quarter, 13-play, 86-yard drive. Quentin Cooley had 62 of the 86 on the ground on 5 carries. Also, kind of a harbinger of things to come in the second half. Jacob Jenkins had a number of big catches for you, 20-yard catch on that drive. Quentin scores extra point, gets you on the board with 5 minutes left. So pivotal drive there to stretch the field out a little bit.
It was, and to make one just to get some confidence because, I think it was like a prize fight, and the other guy comes out swinging haymakers, and he's hit a couple of them, and you're the favorite, and you're just trying to avoid being knocked out. And if we don't go score there and we punt back to them, defense is on the field for 10 plays. They're tired. It's a big deal, and so I thought that was huge. And another, I think, another moment that was big early on prior to that, after that interception, they went for it on 4th down and didn't get it.
Yep.
He could have kicked a field goal there and went up 10-0. He chose to go for it. We got to stop. So that kept us in the game and kept us going down from 2 scores, which I thought was big as well from there. But that was a pivotal time frame to get us at least back into it at 10-7.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks in a row you had key stops on 4th down inside the red zone. All right, final 5 minutes of the second quarter, UMass field goal. You guys fumble it, set them up with a short field, and 6 plays later they punch it in with a score. And there was a phantom T.J. Bush personal foul.
Yeah.
At least from our vantage point, we saw one replay, and that's all we saw. Looked like they could have kept the flag in the pocket, but that's just the radio broadcaster's opinion. UMass does score to go up 20-7, and that ends the first half. Take us in the locker room. What was the mood like? And you came right out and really got back onto him in the third quarter.
I mean, you're 13-7, and we have the ball driving. We get the ball on a punt, and I think we can be inside the 50, and we get that turnover. You have a chance thinking, hey, we got a chance to go down and be 13-10, 14-13, and then they score. And then you get in the locker room, and our whole message was what team is showing up, because the team that showed up there in the first half, at least for a segment of that first half, was not excited about playing football. And so in our own way, we encourage them to play better and play the type of football that we're capable of playing. For whatever reason, we weren't doing that consistently. And so the first drive of the second half, they one reason you defer is we want the ball and hopefully we score, and you get some momentum. And so that drive there. If we go a 3 and out, I don't know if we're able to come back, and that was going to be a pivotal drive for us. We had to score some points to get back in it, to give us some energy, give some juice, give our defense some confidence that we can move the ball. And I thought that was huge for us to come out. I don't know how many plays it ended up being, but I thought that was
11
plays for us to get points there was big, because now, hey, you're down 6, you're back in it. You're a 1-score game away, and so now, all right, let's go.
Caden Salter, 8-yard touchdown run, makes it 20-14. And we talked about this postgame, Jamey. Defensively, 2 quick 3-and-outs in that third. I know UMass scored later on in the game, obviously, but your team has shown a penchant in that third quarter defensively to make some of those adjustments, and you came out and made some 2 good stops.
Yeah, it was big. We get a stop, we get the ball back, and we're driving again. And I think we might have they called us twice during the game for our offensive linemen jumping off sides. And the rule, if the opposing defense moves towards you, we teach our guys to jump, because they changed the rule this year. If they move towards you, it's supposed to be a penalty. Well, this crew called it on us. This never happened. And so I think that ended up stalling a drive for us, because one of them jumped and we jumped and they bumped us back. And we ended up having to punt, but then the defense came back and got us another stop, and then that gave us the ball with a chance to go score towards the end of the third and the fourth quarter to take that lead. But I did think our defense played really well there in that third quarter to get us the ball, allow us to get back, because if you remember halftime, I think time of possession was like 20-10 or 21. It was they were very on their side, and our defense was getting tired. So I thought the adjustments they made allowed us to get back in the football game.
I want to talk rules for a minute. Joined by head coach Jamey Chadwell, our weekly football show here at Mellow Mushroom, brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. I've heard more so this year stoppage of play because of the defense disconcerting signals. Explain that to our fans. I mean, can you actually hear the defense kind of mimicking the snap count, things like that?
Well, what they're not supposed to do, you watch defenses, our defense does it, they all move in unison, right? Like somebody will say move or shift, and they all move to the right or to the left. But what a lot of them will do is most people clap for a snap count.
Right.
And so you'll see linebackers clap to try to get people to move, and that's a disconcerting signal.
Okay.
And so you're not allowed to do anything that would mimic an offensive cadence or something of that nature. And so sometimes you get it called, sometimes you don't. But that's what that means.
Okay. We're getting started here with our weekly radio show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, the Liberty Football Show brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. We'll take a timeout. We'll finish a recap in the win over UMass. Then we'll let Coach go get some dinner with his family. And we'll also hear some post-game reaction from Quentin Cooley and Joseph Carter coming up here at the bottom of the hour. But we'll take our first time out here tonight from Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg. We'll have more of our Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell after this timeout from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Black Friday savings have started early at Lynchburg Nissan. Enjoy up to $8,300 off MSRP on select 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 of our most popular models. These savings won't last long, and with inventory moving fast, now's the time to take advantage. Plus, trade in your car and receive up to 130% of fair KBB value. That's right, huge savings, 0% financing, and large trade-in values. Black Friday starts now. Head to Lynchburg Nissan today.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthlight Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthlight Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight, talking Liberty Flames football, our Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Liberty 7-2 overall, 4-2 in Conference USA play. Gets back into league play Saturday. Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers come in 7-3, 5-1 after their first league loss at home to Louisiana Tech this past Saturday, 12-7. We got Senior Day, Coach. Military Appreciation Day, which I want you to address to our crowd. Very important to many families across the world. I know it's near and dear to yours as well.
It is. It's any time that you can do something to honor the men and women that have fought for the freedoms of this country. We live in obviously the greatest country in the world, and my family served in the military. My father was in the Army. My grandfather was retired from the Army 33 years, airborne paratrooper. My other grandfather was in the Navy, and so we were raised to obviously honor the American flag and be thankful for the freedoms that we have. And so anytime we can honor the people that have died for this country and also serving it to protect us, it's always a special time.
And a special day on Saturday, 1 o'clock kickoff, Liberty, Western Kentucky. And I know a lot of people go get concessions and whatnot at halftime, but a great halftime show that our own Kevin Keys has a big heavy lift in. Kevin's in the house here tonight, has done a number of great things for Liberty Flames Athletics well before my days here, but good to see Kevin and his family here. And the crescendo of it is the great American flag they unveil there at midfield. And I think Robert Goodman told us today there's over 200 people that helped bring that flag out and unveil it at midfield. So look forward to that on Saturday. All right, Coach, can we keep the happy birthday surprise again?
Yeah, so my daughter tomorrow, Soraya,
nice,
is turning 10.
All right,
She's
double
turning
digits.
10, yeah, so that's
awesome.
a big birthday for her, so we're excited about that.
All right, yeah.
What I love about her, as soon as we have her birthday tomorrow, she'll be talking about her birthday for next year.
All right, that's what happens.
Yeah, so she loves her birthday.
All right, well, happy birthday early to her, and we wish her a great day tomorrow. All right, Coach, let's break down the rest of this UMass game. We were talking kind of third quarter action. You score to make it 20-14, force them 2 3-and-outs early in the third. Then you go on a 12-play, 89-yard drive. Quentin Cooley caps it with a 6-yard touchdown run. You take your first lead, 21-20, early stages, fourth quarter. At that point, you started to feel pretty good as you hit the Flames quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 21-20. You've taken momentum back. You feel like, all right, now let's go get a stop and see if we can, put it away. Obviously, unfortunately, they drove down and matched it and scored, right there to go up, and then they got the 2-point conversion, And so that's to me where, we when we get that momentum, when we seized it, we've been down and you came back. That's when we got to try to put the clamp on teams, and really lock in. To their credit, they were able to come in and answer and do a great job and take momentum right back. And so that whole game was coming down to really that drive for us. After that, you're down, and we had to make some plays there. And I thought that's when K-Sot was at his best, helping us to get down there and score.
So it's 4th down and 7, Jamey, at the UMass 16. We argued the play before. You even said at postgame Saturday, probably should have PI on 3rd down. You didn't get it. You did get it on 4th down. You ended up scoring to go up, or to tied at 28. Just one of those 50-50 balls, and you got the call. Yeah,
and that's what we've had a lot go against us this year that way, and so it was really good to see us get one. Actually, I said the 3rd down felt like that was the one that was probably worse than the one on 4th down. But thankfully you get that call, and it gives you an opportunity, to score and tie it up. Because if you don't get that, now I think that was 4 minutes left or something. Now and we didn't stop them that previous drive, so maybe the game's over there. So that was a big time or big moment in the game.
All right, so the game's tied at 28, and these are the plays that fans are going to talk about this season for a while now. UMass, you got a good punt from Max Morgan. UMass has it at their own 10-yard line, and they drive all the way to your 25. 4 timeouts were called before the final kick. They called 3. You called 1 to ice Jacob Laurie. It worked. Just take us through your timeout and what you saw when they tried to attempt that field goal.
Well, they were trying to set him up a couple plays early. I think they were trying to get him a little closer. They almost fumbled the snap on the play before. He dropped it.
Remember?
And so I think they made the decision, all right, let's just set it in the middle. The reason why I was taking the time out, the wind stopped blowing, and so
there you go.
And he was blowing against the wind, and I knew after outside of 40 yards, he hadn't been great,
right?
And so I was just hoping, hey, the wind stopped blowing. Let's take a timeout because that wind was swirling. It would stop, then it'd swirl again. So I said, hey, let's take a timeout. Hopefully the wind will kick up a little bit.
Right.
That was the whole reason behind that. There's an icing something to it, but more so the wind had stopped. I'm like, hey. Let's call timeout. Hopefully the wind will kick up again and make that kick a little bit more challenging because it was swirling left or right. And so that was the whole premise. And then when he kicked it, you're watching, you're trying to get the good angle, and you see it going that way. And honestly, you're praying. I was like, Lord, Lord, please don't let them make this.
There have been so many kicks. My 15 years, one was involved obviously when you were at your previous institution. But there's been a lot of kicks that have just –
which we were cheated out of.
Oh. That have gone in favor of Liberty, and this was one that was wide to the right.
I've been part of those too, where they kick it, and you get, and they make it.
Yeah.
But it was one, it's 50-50, right?
Right.
But the good Lord wanted us to at least get to overtime.
So it went to overtime, tied at 28. They get the ball. They go right down. They score in 2 plays.
Yeah.
Jacob Lorry, part 2. Dinks it off the upright.
Yeah, and to the right as well. He missed that one to the right, and and I feel obviously it helped us win the game. You feel bad for the young man there. He made some good kicks, and he's had a good season up to that point. And when a game comes down something like that, they're 2 and whatever they are. And it was their senior day. They want to go out with a victory and all those things. And so you feel bad for him as an individual. But hey, when the pressure's on, you gotta make the kick, and he didn't do it.
So you're down 6, you get the ball. First play, Caden Salter scrambles over to the right, 8-yard gain.
Huge play.
Kind of got you, in front of the sticks there, and then you punch it in with Quint Cooley. And how much pressure do you think Colin Carhue had with that extra point?
You know what? I don't know if he felt any at all.
Okay.
For him, it's an extra point. He said that today. It's an extra point. And I said, well, Braden Beck missed one, so it's got
right.
I said it's not just an extra point, but he was. There was a lot of confidence. I mean, they do that almost every day. You do an extra point almost every day, and Colin's been a great addition for us this year.
Yeah.
He's really done a nice job, and I would have been feeling it probably a little bit, but he acted like no big deal. And if you watch, and it's not only him though; it's the holder. Max Morgan's the holder. It's Ryan Manis was our snapper, and they're like they're like a pitcher and catcher. That's the battery, right? They're together all the time, and they do that all the time. And great snap, great hold, and it right down the middle.
I don't know if you know this, Jamey. Getting off of the plane when the game is over, we sit right behind your specialists. And so
you got bad seats.
Hey, no. I'm on there, man. I'm on there. I am so thankful to just be on there. And so I'm right behind Max Morgan. And so we're getting our stuff off the plane, and we're walking out. And Max has been around this program a while. So there's certain guys you get to know a little bit better than others. And he's one of them for me. And I said, man, that was a great play there at the end. Take us through your view of it. And he said, Alan, I'll be honest with you. The orientation of the field, for those that may not know, it's usually north-south end zones, but this was east-west. Yeah. That's one of the first things I do when I get to the press box to see the orientation, just to paint a middle picture for the fans. And so the west is to my right, which is where the sun was setting. And he said, Alan, you may not know this, but the sun was beating right in my eyes, just the way it was coming down. And so he kind of was challenged by the sun. And obviously it was a great operation, but that was kind of a cool story that he told me.
Sounds
on
made
Saturday.
up.
So
sounds made up. I'm gonna ask
maybe
him
make
about
it a little more dramatic than what it was. Maybe
he's a politician, so but no, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, but those you had trust. Like for us, there wasn't a doubt on any of our. Hey, we're not going to make this, and because those guys have shown that over and over. And the only time that they get recognized is if they do something bad, and it was great to get them recognized for operating something they do every day, and their celebration, the way they celebrate, and they were a big part of it. Everybody ran out to them. But that's a great honor for them. Yeah,
there's a great still shot of Colin Carhue, the kicker, celebrating after he kicked it, and Max was right behind him celebrating. So really, really cool. All right, Coach, so you win that one in overtime, 35-34. Now you got Western Kentucky. Now we're going to let you go get some dinner with your family, and we'll talk about the Hilltoppers coming up here in just a little bit. So we're going to continue on with our weekly radio show. Coming back, we'll hear some of those radio highlights of the aforementioned win over UMass, and then some post-game reaction as well. We're live at Mellow Mushroom tonight in Lynchburg. This is the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Welcome back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight for our weekly Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Coach is here today, but getting a little dinner here midway through. That's typically what we do with our weekly radio show. We got a number of comments coming in from our fans here tonight. We'll try to skim these during our next segment. Coming up, we'll hear from Joseph Carter, one of Liberty's captains defensively, had 11 tackles in the 1-point win over UMass. And Quentin Cooley. How about these numbers for Quentin Cooley? If you like the number 4 or the number 7, stay tuned. Quentin Cooley on Saturday. Kevin's paying attention. Check this out. 147 yards rushing, 7.4 yards per rush. His 14th career 100-yard game and his 7th this season. Can't make that up. That's really, really cool. And speaking of Quentin Cooley, he'll be our pregame guest on the radio for our player profile coming up on Saturday. Spent about 15 minutes with Quentin here today and recorded about a 7-8 minute interview with him. And he told a really cool story. This is going to be his first senior day. He didn't get to go through it in high school because his head coach held him out of his senior day in high school to prepare him for the first round of the playoffs. That's an NFL move right there. End of the regular season, we already wrapped up the division. Hey, we're not going to play our starters, or, that happens sometimes in the NFL, and that's what happened. And Quentin said they did make a run into the playoffs, I think finished 15-1 or something like that down in North Carolina, but transferred in from Wake, and so he's going to have his senior day, and he cannot wait on Saturday. All right, let's take a listen to some of the highlights of the win over UMass, and we'll hear from Quentin Cooley and Joseph Carter, their post-game interviews from this past Saturday's 35-34 overtime win at UMass.
4th and 1 at the Liberty 16. The snap to Haston. Hand off up the middle. I don't know. He looks short. C.J. Hester got the carry, and the Flames will hold second straight week. Inside the red zone, the Flames defense turns over their opponent on 4th down.
What a huge defensive stop for the Flames defensive unit right there. Tyler talked about it being
Snap to Salter, turns left, hands off to Cooley again up the middle. He'll skip past the defender into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Great momentum, great drive, service mostly by Quentin.
Salter gets the snap on third down, dances out of a tackle, now races left, has green turf to the 10, to the 5, stretches pylon, he knocked it down, and he's going to be out. It'll be a first down play coming up. Caden Salter escaping. Now they're going to call a touchdown. Snap to Haston. Handoff, nowhere to go is the running back, T.J. Bush, chest to chest, suplexes him down to the turf, and the Flames hold again. Jalen John went nowhere.
We know that this defensive line is capable of some big plays and led by number 3.
Second and goal at the 6. Salter in the shotgun. Ball spirals back. He turns right, hands off to Cooley, wide open down the middle. He is into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. And the Flames have clawed back to tie it with 13:09 left in the ball game.
You play your hot hand, and in this particular drive, it's Quentin Cooley. I mentioned it earlier. He was
on second and goal at the 1. Ball snaps back. Salter has it, and he's into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Second rushing score of the day for the junior from Cedar Hill, Texas. Liberty now within a point of a tie with 3:49 left. All right, out of the timeout for the win. Jacob Laurie and UMass. Game tied at 28, 3 seconds left from 43 yards out. Snap. Ball down, kick on the way, floating, it's up, and it's no good! Wide to the right! He missed it! Extra point for Jacob Laurie. Now, he might be a little bit shook after he missed that field goal. This is an important extra point for Jacob Laurie.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
Here's the extra point from Jacob Laurie. Snap, ball down, kick on the way, hit the upright! It hit the upright! It's no good! Snap to Salter, hands off Cooley. Up the middle, he'll take it to the 3, to the 2, to the 1, to the end zone! Light him up! Touchdown, Liberty! Quentin Cooley! The overtime touchdown ties the game at 34. His third rushing score of the day, and now Colin Carhew with a chance to win it for Liberty.
We've seen Cooley do it so often, just put the team on his back. He does it here in overtime for the touchdown for the Flames.
Game tied at 34. In overtime, Colin Carhew for a chance to win it. Snap, ball down, kick on the way. It is good! In overtime, Liberty wins it 35-34. All right, Jason, thanks a lot. Now joined by Joseph Carter. 11 tackles for Joseph in this Flames defense that helps Liberty win 35-34 in overtime. Unbelievable ending here, Joseph. Take us through the defensive game plan here today. Didn't go great all the time, but you struck that stone to the very end.
Really, the game plan probably wasn't a problem coming out the first half. We just didn't trust each other. People was getting out their gaps. And that's when the second half, we just told each other, like, we all we got. We're going to trust each other, stay in your gap, do your job, and everybody soaring to the ball. We just made the plays.
Down 20-7 at halftime. I don't think anybody was panicking at any point in time. But you guys came right out in that third quarter, 2 3-and-outs. How pivotal was that to kind of get your foot defensively in the second half?
Nobody panicked because, fortunately, we've been here before, down quick, when we know we should be playing better. So, like, nobody panicked. We were just like, all right, we're back here again. We shouldn't be, but we are. So we know what to do. Come out, start strong, and just play with each other.
You had a couple of key stops, like I said, in that third quarter. Fourth quarter, take us through the field goal opportunity they had with about 3 seconds left. Their guy missed it. Take us through the timeout that was called and what you were thinking as you saw that ball flutter up that it ultimately went wide right.
For us, it was like we got to go block it. We got to go make sure he missed. We only won he only missed by the grace of God. We only won by the grace of God. I'm trying to remind everybody that because we missed 2 field goals, a field goal in the PAT, And then our field goal kicker, great job, Carter, he made his. So that's all about the grace of God.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to remind each other that.
You mentioned, Joseph, you've been in this situation before, especially overtime, FIU, about a month ago. How do you think that experience kind of helped this team in overtime here today?
We wasn't phased. We wasn't phased by overtime. We was happy to go to overtime. We was happy to just game prolong, keep playing, because we know we're going to keep striking the stone. And at some point, they're going to give us a chance and we're going to take advantage.
All right, final thought, joined by Joseph Carter. Liberty wins 35-34 in overtime at UMass. Get right back into Conference USA play for the stretch run. Joseph, take us through the approach this week as you guys have senior day coming up next week.
We're going to attack practice, make sure everybody fully in there, and make sure like everybody knows, do your job no matter what. We're going to enjoy senior day, enjoy our guys' last home game or whatnot, but we all have to focus on the game and make sure like all the focus stay on winning our next conference game and just playing with each other and making sure we finish.
All right, Joseph, appreciate the time. Congratulations. Strike that stone.
Thank you.
All right, Joseph Carter, linebacker, 11 tackles here today. Jason, back to you. All right, thanks a lot, Jason. Joined by running back Quentin Cooley. Another 100-yard game for you, Quentin, but you'll take the win over that any day. How'd you guys get it done here, especially in overtime?
Just being able to be a team, just sticking with each other, to be honest. We know we played a sloppy game at the end of the day. We just want to know, like, we got to fight for each other. We got to learn how to execute way better throughout the stuff. But executing at the end, it was really what made us push through and get it through. And also, that kicker missing the field goals. So that was really a blessing that God blessed from come true. So, but just always executing at the end, don't get away from our execution.
Looked like the offensive line today, that they just were opening up holes for you and Billy and Vaughn. Those guys that were running the football, that group, I'm sure, to you, gets a lot of credit today.
Yeah, always. They always get a lot of credit. A lot of people just be like, Quentin Cooley did this, Quentin Cooley did that. But, like, if it weren't for my front, like, I don't know what I'd do. Like, honestly. So, like, all the credit goes to my offensive line. They always open up the holes. Like, a lot of people, like, offensive line this, offensive line that. No, it's like they don't really see the back end of, like, the holes they really open up. And then just me, it's really just me just being in the second level, making people miss or do whatever I got to do to go drive us down the field to go score, to be honest. But, like, I love my guys up front. All the credit goes to them. All my yards are their yards, and that's really how it is. So basically, it's another 100-yard game for them, not just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, joined by Quentin Cooley. Liberty wins at 35-34 in overtime at UMass. All right, let's go through the last couple of segments of the game here. You're down 28-21. Key pass interference goes in your favor to give you guys extra life, and then just the way the game ended with them missing 2 kicks and you scoring to help you get Colin within an opportunity to win the game there. Just take us through the last end of the fourth quarter in that overtime.
It was wild. It was a wild just situation that was going on, honestly. I think we get back on the field. We get the PI. We try to get back on the field to be able to. Well, we scored. We scored a drive after the PI, so that came in clutch. And then I think they got the ball back, and then we got ball back, but we didn't do anything with it. We gave it back to them. And they drove down the field on us. They ran a timeout, and just the kicker just really missed it. It was windy all day, honestly. It was windy all day, and the kicker missed it. And we knew, like, the team knew it was a chance. Like, we're still in this game. We got to be able to execute, do what we got to do. And they come out full head of steam, score. So we know we got to come out. But then we didn't know the kicker was going to miss the field goal. So we come out full head of steam, and after that, like, we always had a great kicker. Colin Carr, who was very great, came in, stepped in, real good. A lot of people don't know how good Carver really is. He's a quiet kid, but he talks a lot to a lot of people around and stuff. I had him at my house like last week. We were just talking and stuff. But he was like, "Oh, I'm in Quentin Cooley apartment and all this." But like he's a really good kicker, and a lot of people didn't realize that. Like he's very good, and he won us this game.
Final thought here, Quentin. Did this game symbolize what striking the stone means?
Yes, it always striking the stone. No matter what happens in life or whatever you're doing, don't give up. Keep striking. Coach Scott always tells the story about keep striking. Like a man once, he was hitting the stone over and over and over, and he just gave up. One man comes and hit it one time, boom, they go the whole treasure. So never give up. Just keep going one by one, because you never know the outcome will be.
All right, Q, appreciate the time. Have fun on that plane coming home.
Thank you.
All right, so running back Quentin Cooley. Liberty wins at 35-34 in overtime. Jason, back to you.
And it's back to AY again. Jason, our studio host with Liberty Radio, does a great job. You hear him pregame, halftime. He kind of anchors our coverage and gives us a chance at halftime to go get a cookie or brownie sometimes when they are provided in the press box. Anyway, so we thank Quentin Cooley and Joseph Carter for their help with the postgame on Saturday. Win for Liberty, 35-34 over UMass. Again, setting the scene again coming up next week, and we'll take one more break of our show, and we'll get Coach Chadwell's thoughts on Western Kentucky here in a minute. That's the next game. They are 7-3, 5-1 in the league, and they're coming off a tough home loss to Louisiana Tech on Saturday. And a pivotal game again. Liberty controls its path to the conference championship, thanks in large part to the Bulldogs' win over Western Kentucky last week. Now, Liberty does not need help to get to that championship game. Where's it going to be? We just don't know. But what we do know is the next game is the most important, and that's 1 o'clock on Saturday here at home. Final regular season home game for Liberty. Military Appreciation Day, Senior Day, a lot of festivities going on around the game that kicks at 1. And again, get there early for the Senior Day ceremonies and the pregame band show before the Flames come out on the field against Western Kentucky. All right, we'll take our final timeout of our Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, and we'll wrap things up here at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg tonight after this timeout from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Black Friday savings have started early at Lynchburg Nissan. Enjoy up to $8,300 off MSRP on select 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 of our most popular models. These savings won't last long, and with inventory moving fast, now's the time to take advantage. Plus, trade in your car and receive up to 130% of fair KBB value. That's right, huge savings, 0% financing, and large trade-in values. Black Friday starts now. Head to Lynchburg Nissan today.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames football show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames football show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Moving right along on this Tuesday night. Don't forget, next Tuesday we'll be here again as we preview the Sam Houston game, and that'll be our final planned show. We hope we have a conference championship preview after that, but we will be here next Tuesday as well. I got a couple of hellos here. We're rejoined by Jamey Chadwell, Liberty head football coach. North Country, New York says hello. Lake City, Tennessee. Hi, Steve. Forest, Virginia, Myrtle Beach, West Hills, California, Westport, New York, Greenville, South Carolina, and Cindy's tuning in. Your mom.
Mom.
Is that right? Yeah, she tunes in. She's a big Liberty radio fan.
She is. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Western Kentucky, 7-3. They're 5-1 in the league. They've got a really good football team. They had a quarterback change due to necessity, and looks like they've got a pretty strong footing offensively. What they're trying to do with their 6'6" quarterback.
Yeah, he's a big old kid, and since he's came in there, they've played really well. I think the strength of their team is they've got really good skill, and then defensively they're really, really good. You know, you look at they're 7-3. Alabama, you can wipe that out, obviously.
Right.
Boston College get beat 21-20. They're up that whole game. They're up 20-7, I think, in the fourth quarter. End up getting beat, and then obviously last week, so they've lost 2 games by 6 points there, or they're 9-1, and so they're a talented bunch. That quarterback has stabilized them on offense. He runs well enough to where he's big and he can run through you some, but also obviously being that big, he can throw the ball pretty well. And they've got some guys that if you don't redirect them, if you let them get free releases off the line of scrimmage, they get the ball, they got a chance to take it the distance, you know. Okay. And if you remember last year, we gave up some plays like that, you know, where they were able to get some big. So we have to make them earn it and do a good job of not letting them, get out of there and make a bigger play. So it's a huge challenge for us, and we're going to have to play well as we go into, because they're playing extremely well, extremely high level, and they're going to come in with a lot of confidence.
Their coach is Tyson Helton, and his brother Clay is the head coach Southern, so a football family there. You mentioned that game last year, 49-29. You win at Western, Coach. How much of last year's film against them do you watch? Typical against another team.
Opponent. You'll watch last year's, obviously, especially if they have the same coordinator. Hey, how did they try to attack you? What did they do? What are they doing differently this year? You compare it, right? So hey, this is what they did to us last year. Was that their plan all year long, or were they something different for you? And then you try to compare. So you always look at the game prior to or from the last time you played them, just to see, hey, we should have done this differently. Oh, they were doing this. This is something that they're going to come back to because they had a lot of success against us with it. And so that's part of your breakdown as you're getting ready for your game.
Got your tight ends involved a lot last week. Jacob Jenkins had a couple of catches. You did lose Bentley Hanshaw. Austin Henderson did not play as well. Caleb Ryan is one that continues to gain in confidence and experience. And you mentioned a couple of other tight ends that we haven't talked about much today in your media session that might get a little playing time as well for that position group.
Yeah, obviously Austin Henderson got hurt a couple weeks ago. He's been gone. Bentley got hurt in the game. Bo Burklow got hurt in practice a couple weeks ago, so he's somebody that would have played, especially when Bentley went down. And so that's where Caleb Ryan had to step up. Caleb Ryan played 31 snaps. Wow. Yeah. First time ever playing offensive snaps. He's been on special teams. And Caleb actually joined us as a walk-on when we first got here, made the team. He doesn't say 2 words. And he's from Washington State. And so, but he's done a fantastic job. And he's earned everybody's respect. He shows up every day. He works hard. And was on show team and just kept working through spring, through fall, through last spring, and put him in a position where, his number's been called. He earned the right to travel because of being on special teams. And then, the opportunity that was given to him last week, he did a nice job, and now his role's going to obviously get bigger. Now you got to do it. Can you do it for 50 snaps? That's going to be the challenge, but he's the type of young man got a great head on his shoulders.
Jamey, you mentioned in the postgame on Saturday getting back to our identity. The triple option with the RPO, and you've had a lot of success the last couple of weeks doing that. And again, this season you had some injuries wide receiver-wise, and so you might not be throwing the ball downfield as much as you may want. Obviously there is depth there, but getting back to that identity with that rushing attack, how important is that to your team?
Well, I think it's big. One, it allows you to take advantage of some of the players that you do have, obviously running back wise, and some of the other guys. I think 2, if we're able to run the ball, it keeps your defense off the field. It makes the other defense have to prepare a certain way. And I would love, like you said, I want to push the ball more downfield. We want to open more of it up, similar to how we were last year. This year we've not been able to do that for numerous reasons. We've had injuries. Maybe some of the plays to made, they're not there. Also, defenses really are playing us a little bit different now too.
Yep.
You know, they don't want to give up those big plays. They stay deeper, and so it's been a challenge from that standpoint. But being able to have that identity as far as just being able to run the ball, making people have to defend you in certain different ways, it's allowed us to control the game a little bit more, put ourselves in position to have an opportunity to win it, and be able to stay in it. And if we're struggling and maybe on defense for a little bit, hey, can we have some long sustained drives? And so hopefully we can continue to do that, but also get back to some of the things that make us explosive in those passes and the play actions and some of those things, because that's when we're really good. And we've got to get to that where we can be a complete offense.
Yeah, last couple of ball games, Jamey, you've had sustained drive, double-digit drives, 85, 90-yard so drives. So good to see that running game really get back into mid-season form. Our final thought here, 2 games left. They're so important. And we've talked before, Jamey, just having the opportunity in November for important games. It beats the alternative, but Western is first, and they don't get any bigger than these 2 coming up in the first one, Western. But just having an opportunity, something to play for, that's so important.
It is. I mean, one, that's the value of being in a conference, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, as an independent, you can play some, big games against, whoever, but to be late in November and knowing that, hey, if you can win this, there's something at the end of the rainbow, so to speak, that's a big deal. And so I think that's the great thing about being in a conference. And I had an athletic director tell me a long time ago. He'd said, he always said September's for pretenders, October's for contenders, and November's for champions.
Okay.
And so we're in November, and even maybe we were a contender or pretender in October. But now your opportunity is that you can be a champion if you can handle your business, and that's all you want at the end of the day if you want to be playing meaningful games. And now what I would say is the only way besides pride, the only way the Sam Houston game is meaningful if we can handle business this week,
Absolutely.
Right? And so, but we're there, and no matter how you've gotten there, you have the opportunity. It's been laid out there. If you handle your business, you're playing in a championship game, and if that doesn't, get our guys focused on knowing, hey, we got to go play well, and we can play extremely well, and they can play extremely well, and they might win, and that would stink, but I can live with that. I've told the team, listen, I can live with us not winning a game if we're playing the way that we're supposed to play, the play we're capable of playing together. But I also told them, I believe if they play that way, we're hard to beat, and so hopefully our guys will play that way. But it's awesome to be this late and being in a championship, because I told the team today, we're in a playoff. That's where we are. We're in the playoff. We're in a 2-game playoff right now, and you win those 2 games, you're playing. You're playing in the big game, and so and that's how we have to view that. And I hope our community, our fans will come out. We need all the support we can get in Williams Stadium. Hopefully, I know it's coming up on Thanksgiving. Hopefully, our students will stay just for that Saturday before they go home.
Yep.
Because we need them here as well, because it's a huge day. One, to honor the seniors. The seniors here have a huge legacy. Of some of them have been part of the transition to FBS. Some of them had huge wins versus some Power 4 teams, Power 5 teams at the time, obviously making the transition to Conference USA and win. So they've done a lot for the program, and one, just to honor them for their commitment to Liberty, but also we need them to help us get to that championship game.
It takes everybody, and for those within earshot of this broadcast or watching it, you play a vital role. And I'm speaking on behalf of Coach and this program. When it is loud in your home venue and you affect what the other team does, you can't put a price on that. It is so important. So, Jamey, we appreciate your time. Good to have your family out here. Happy early birthday tomorrow to your daughter, and go get them on Saturday.
Sounds good. Flames.
That's head coach Jamey Chadwell each and every week here. Be right back here Tuesday night to recap the Western game and look ahead to Sam Houston. But particulars, again, Liberty, Western Kentucky, 1 o'clock kickoff. Saturday, get your tailgate, get your biscuits, gravy, whatever. Bring it to the stadium. Bring it to campus. Have a good time. Come see the team walk through the indoor facility, one of my favorite parts of the pregame, and the pregame band and all that stuff. And then we'll kick it off at 1 o'clock. Our broadcast will start at 11:30. I don't usually get to be in the indoor facility for pregame, but Nick Pierce, who's here, he's going to be out in St. Thomas with men's basketball. They leave tomorrow. So appreciate Nick and his help. So I'll be pinch hitting in the indoor facility. Stop by and see me and Tyler Turner. We'll be there at 11:30. and then we'll head upstairs around 12:30 to get ready for the kickoff. For head coach Jamey Chadwell, Jamie Hall, our video producer, Cody Whitman, our on-site engineer, and our entire staff. My name is Alan York. Have a great rest of your week. Go Flames, and we'll see you Saturday, Liberty, Western Kentucky on the mountain. This is Liberty Football from Van Wagner.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank. Life lived full. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.